Hey guys, welcome back for another quick explainer video. Today's gonna be applicable to call options only, and of course, American options only. Again, European options cannot be exercised early. If you want an explanation of the differences in European and American options, check out another video, and it'll be covered there. So real quick, the only time one would exercise early a call option is for a regular scheduled dividend. Special dividends, other unique corporate actions, the strike price of the option or the option contract terms will be changed. Regular dividends, typically those are those quarterly dividends announced and or predicted in advance. The contract doesn't change. So the strike price will stay the same, and the stock, underlying stock, will just adjust down by the dividend amount on that ex-dividend date. So we're just going to pick on Verizon stock here for a quick example. It pays a dividend. Getting back what I said a minute ago, you would only exercise or be assigned on a call option, to capture a dividend. So if the stock doesn't pay a dividend, like let's say Tesla or something, there's no case to ever exercise early. If you don't want that position, just sell it back out in the marketplace to close it. So the first thing we need to do is find out what the dividend is and when it is. So in the case of Verizon here, we just pulled up the next dividend amount and the X date. So recall that we need to take action the business day prior to the X date, which we're gonna which is assuming that the prior business day just is the prior day, April 7th, this case. By the time you get to the X date, it's too late. You've already been assigned, or you've already missed the opportunity and potentially lost some money. So we're just going to call this 63 cents here. And we're going to assume that this is a different date for the example, but just keep in mind it's a business day prior to the X date, because on the X date, no longer trades with the dividend. So in Verizon here, we're just going to go, we're going to pull up the February expiration. And again, this is why I'm changing the X date for this example. So we're going to assume that X date is something like, February 18th, just sometime prior to, the expiration. So again, it's pretty obvious, but just for clarity, you would only ever exercise any option if it was in the money. You never exercise an out of the money, at the money option. So we're going to pick on the 55 calls here. Verizon is currently trading 57.81, so these are in the money. So, and again, we're just trying to determine if one should exercise in this case. So it doesn't matter if you're short. There's no action you can take. You just can anticipate assignment. It's not guaranteed, but it would be likely. If you're long the calls, this is when you would actually proactively go in and submit exercise orders, which ideally should be done like close of business or that 15 minutes after, on the day prior to the ex-dividend date, just because the stock's always moving and things could change. So it really needs to be looked at kind of right at the last minute. There would be the ideal time to submit exercise orders. Now, it may not show up in the account, or that you may not even know about the assignment until a day or so later, but just keep that in mind too. So there's two methods. There's the more exact method, and then there's the quick method. So in the exact method, we're just going to use the mid-market pricing for this. So it's 333 is the price of that 55 call option. So we know that's in the money. So if we bought the call for 333, and then that's a 55 strike option, we're going to be, you sum those together and you get 58.33. And we're going to subtract that from the market price, which is 57.81, and we're going to get 52 cents. Now so by doing that, we found, and you can have the software on some systems just calculate this for you, but we're looking for the extrinsic value otherwise known as the time value. So this option, these 55 calls, the mid-market price is extrinsic value of 52 cents. And recall from a moment ago that Verizon paid, 0.6275 dollars in the dividend. So we're calling that 63 cents. So we're comparing a 63-cent dividend to a 52 cents of extrinsic value. So in this case, if we were short, we would expect assignment. If we were long, we would want to exercise early because the dividend amount is greater than the time value. If it wasn't, then we would either hold the option or, you could obviously sell at any time, but it would not be beneficial, would not be economically beneficial to early exercise. Now, I mentioned there was a quick method. Again, not quite as accurate, but it does save some time, and that is to just come over here to the put side. Okay, so we were talking about the 55 calls, which are in the money. So now we're talking about the 55 puts, which are naturally out of the money. And again, we'll use the mid-market price, and it's 51. So the put price is below the dividend amount. Again, that's the same. We get the same signal, and that signal is it is economically beneficial to exercise this option early because the put is cheaper than the dividend. So you need to be looking at those things. The things you need to be doing are keeping track of these ex-dividend dates so you can take the appropriate action before. You're going to see what options are in your portfolio that are in the money, on the day before that ex-dividend date, and then calculate either one of these two methods, looking at the puts or doing a little bit of math with the in the money calls to extract that extrinsic value. We don't care about the intrinsic value, just the extrinsic value. Try to make a determination whether it be economically beneficial to exercise early, or if, like I said, if we're in a short, like a buy right position or just naked calls or some type of spread, whether we would expect assignment. So it's very important to keep track of those, particularly like spread positions and stuff. But you can have adverse tax implications or, just unexpected moves, unexpected short positions in a security, just lose out on the dividend, essentially just forfeit money. So I don't want that to happen to anyone. So that's why I made this video, and I don't want to be too much longer. And I'm going to cover when to exercise put options in another video. But these are the things you need to be looking for. Just again, to recap, be aware of, those, what you got in the money, the call options you got in the money. Be aware of when those ex-dividend dates are, and use one of these two methods to determine, whether you should go ahead and take that action. And remember to take that action at the last minute, just because the stock is always moving around and things could change. You can't calculate it 2 days before. It can be completely different. And generally this is going to happen, close to where the expiration and the ex-dividend dates are very close, just because naturally there's less time there's less time value, there's less extrinsic value in that option. If something's, a year out, it typically is, it's not going to be beneficial. But just keep track of all that, and hope to catch you guys in another video soon.